But is it possible he's got 350 voice
I
messages?
doubt that very much. I just don't think so.
You doubt it?
Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, unless
Wouldn't
he's
he be-
taping me.
I mean, if you've never really contacted him,
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Behavioral Arts. My name is Spidey and I use my degree in sociology and psychology, my certifications in criminal interrogation and body language analysis, and over 10 years experience as an award-winning mentalist to teach people behavioral analysis and practical psychology on stages and television shows all over the world. Everybody is talking about Baby Reindeer. The recent Netflix hit series tells the dramatic story of a struggling stand-up comedian and his eccentric stalker. The series is masterfully directed, written, and above all, acted. But perhaps the most shocking element are the 5 words on the screen at the beginning of the first episode. This is a true story. Not based on a true story, not inspired by true events. This is a true story. To make matters even more interesting, it's a story about the actual lead actor of the series, Richard Gadd, who wrote a live one-man show about his life, which was then turned into the Netflix series Baby Reindeer. The supporting character, who they named Martha to protect her real identity, is brilliantly portrayed by the incredible Jessica Gunning. Martha, who claims to be a successful lawyer, starts off as quirky, maybe even a little sweet, and turns out to be a delusional and unstable stalker and assailant. Shortly after the release of the series, the interneted, and fans used the details of the show to figure out who the character of Martha represents, and her name is Fiona Harvey. Just a few days ago, Fiona Harvey, the real-life Martha, made an appearance on Pірsa Morgana Uncensored, where she answered all his questions about her relationship with Richard Gadd and just how much of the series is accurate. In this video, we're looking at that interview. We're going to look at her body language, facial expressions, but most importantly, word choice and narrative to try to figure out just how much of Baby Reindeer was accurate. Let's go.
have you watched the drama?
Not at all. I've heard about the court scene, about the jail sentences and all this sort of stuff.
But you really haven't watched any of it?
I haven't watched any of it.
When did you know that you were the person being depicted in this?
5 years ago on BBC Breaking News, I saw Mr. Gadd had written a play for the Edinburgh Festival, and he was holding up placards, MP's wife stalker, and all of this, and he'd called it Baby Reindeer. That's all I knew. And I thought, well, I've only met this guy 2 or 3 times. I don't know him. And left it at that. I should have possibly jumped it at that stage.
Okay, so right off the top, there's already some great stuff. I want to start with right at the end where she said, I've only met this guy 2 or 3 times. I don't know him. And we see a bunch of stuff right in that moment. So as she says, I don't know him, there's a pause as her chin thrusts forward like this, and we see this rapid blinking in her eyes, which we call an eye flutter. There's some great research on eye flutters, and it's a behavior that's seen pretty much everywhere in the world, and it's consistent with processing. When we're encoding something to our memory, or when we're retrieving something from our memory, we tend to rapidly flutter our eyes like this. This is also a behavior that we see pre-emotion. So it's a way to process not just thought, but also emotion. So sometimes before someone's about to cry, you might see a flutter, but even just before someone's about to get really angry in a pre-confrontation, we tend to see this kind of fluttering as they're processing how to handle this emotion and what to do about it. Another behavior that's very consistent with that pre-aggression is those chin thrusts or chin juts. So very often, just before a confrontation, you might see someone saying something like, is there a problem here? With that flutter and that jut. I think it's really important for her to get it out there that she didn't really know him and they've only met a couple of times, which is why she's really forcing it into an answer where it doesn't belong. But I also think that this is creating some sort of inner conflict. Now, this could be because it's not entirely true, so we're seeing this processing and this confrontation within herself, but it's also possible that she knows people aren't going to believe her and she's kind of confronting those people who would say, no, you've met him more times than that.